In the spring of 1947, under the bright lights of Ebbets Field, America witnessed a moment that would ignite both pride and fury, hope and resentment. Jackie Robinson stepped onto the diamond wearing the Brooklyn Dodgers uniform, breaking baseball's rigid color barrier that had held firm for over half a century. For some, it was a moment of triumph, proof that talent and courage could overcome centuries of prejudice. For others, it was a betrayal of tradition, a decision that threatened to upend the established order of American life. In that one step, Jackie Robinson became far more than a ball player. He became a symbol, a flashpoint, and a man whose every swing, every stolen base, and every glare from the dugout carried the weight of an entire nation's struggle. He was loved, hated, celebrated, and despised, sometimes all in the same inning. To understand Jackie Robinson is to understand America itself, its contradictions, its divisions, its capacity for both cruelty and progress. His story is not just about baseball, it is about what happens when one man forces a divided country to confront its deepest fears and its highest ideals. Jackie Robinson's story cannot be told simply as the tale of a great athlete who happened to play baseball well enough to change history. It must be told as the collision of forces, economic, cultural, political, and personal, that turned one man into both a beacon of progress and a lightning rod for hatred. To understand the depth of his journey, we must go back to America before 1947, a country still suffocating under the weight of Jim Crow, where opportunity was dictated by skin color, and where baseball mirrored society's rigid racial divisions. Baseball was America's pastime, a stage upon which the nation projected its values, myths, and hierarchies. For decades, African American players had been barred from Major League Baseball, confined instead to the Negro Leagues, where talent flourished, but visibility was limited. Satchel Paige, Josh Gibson, Cool Papa Bell, these were giants of the game, but their greatness lived in the shadows, denied the chance to face the so-called best simply because of the color of their skin. The segregated system told an entire generation of Black Americans that no matter how gifted, no matter how disciplined, there was a ceiling they would never break. Then came Branch Rickey, the Dodgers' president and general manager, who recognized both the moral and financial opportunity of challenging baseball's status quo. Rickey's motives have been debated endlessly. Was he a crusader for justice, determined to strike a blow against segregation? Or was he a shrewd businessman, calculating that signing a black star could tap into a new audience and create a competitive advantage? The truth, as always, lies somewhere in between. Rickey was a complex man, blending pragmatism with principle, and he knew that the man he chose to break the barrier could not simply be good. He had to be exceptional, not only on the field but in character. That man was Jackie Robinson. Born in 1919 in Cairo, Georgia, Jackie grew up in Pasadena, California, raised by his mother after his father abandoned the family. He learned early what it meant to endure prejudice, yet he also discovered resilience through sports. Jackie was not just a baseball player, he excelled in football, basketball, track and tennis, a rare all-around athlete whose fire and competitiveness were evident from a young age. But what set him apart was not just talent. It was his refusal to accept limits, his unwillingness to be diminished by a world that tried to keep him small. When Rickey summoned him to his office in 1945, Robinson was already a standout with the Kansas City Monarchs of the Negro Leagues. The conversation between Rickey and Robinson would become legend. Rickey warned him of the storms ahead, the insults, the taunts, the beanballs, the letters threatening his life. He told Robinson that to succeed, he would need not the courage to fight back, but the strength to remain silent, to endure abuse without retaliation. Robinson bristled at first. He was not a man to bow his head, but he understood the stakes. If he failed, it would not be Jackie Robinson who failed. It would be the entire notion of integration in baseball, perhaps in America itself. And so he agreed. He would hold his fire, not because he lacked pride, but because the cause demanded sacrifice. When Robinson took the field for the Dodgers on April 15, 1947, the country erupted. Black communities celebrated. Many whites fumed. Teammates debated boycotting, while others grumbled about sharing a clubhouse with a black man. But Robinson proved himself with every play. His style was electric, stealing bases with reckless daring, slashing hits to all fields, electrifying crowds with speed and intensity. He played not merely to win, but to demonstrate, every single game, that he belonged. His rookie season ended with him winning the inaugural Rookie of the Year award, silencing doubters with numbers that spoke louder than any argument. Yet the victories came at a terrible personal cost. Robinson endured a torrent of abuse few athletes could have withstood. He was spit on, cursed at, thrown at. Opponents spiked him deliberately on the base paths. Fans hurled slurs from the stands. Hate mail filled his mailbox. The weight was crushing, but Robinson's resolve held. He drew strength from his wife Rachel, whose unwavering support anchored him in the storm. Together they faced the jeers, the threats, the endless reminders that many Americans still saw him as less than human. What makes Robinson's story extraordinary is not only his athletic brilliance, but the way his presence forced America to confront its own contradictions. He made visible the hypocrisy of a nation that preached freedom while practicing segregation. Every time he stole home, every time he lined a ball into the gap, he reminded the world that the barrier was artificial, sustained only by prejudice. His success was undeniable, and with each victory, the logic of segregation weakened. But Robinson was not universally celebrated. Some African Americans questioned his role, wondering if he was simply an acceptable black man, allowed in by white owners to pacify calls for integration. Was he a true revolutionary, or was he chosen precisely because he was willing to remain silent in the face of racism? This tension reveals the complexity of progress. It is rarely pure, often born of compromise, sacrifice, and uncomfortable bargains. Robinson himself wrestled with these questions, yet he never doubted that his path, however painful, was necessary. As the years passed, Robinson's influence extended beyond the diamond. He became a powerful voice in the civil rights movement, writing columns, speaking out, and challenging injustice wherever he saw it. His friendship with Martin Luther King Jr. linked him to a larger struggle, one that would reshape the nation. Yet he also faced criticism for not being militant enough, for working within the system rather than against it. The truth is that Robinson's greatest weapon was not his bat or glove, but his ability to make America uncomfortable, to force it to see itself in the mirror of baseball and recognize both its shame and its promise. Jackie Robinson's journey was never just about baseball. It was about America, torn between its ugliest traditions and its loftiest ideals. By stepping onto that field in 1947, Robinson did more than play a game. He cracked the illusion that segregation was natural, that injustice could stand unchallenged forever. He endured hatred so that others could one day walk more freely. He was cheered and cursed, celebrated and vilified because he represented change, and change always divides before it heals. Today, his number 42 is retired across Major League Baseball, a rare honor that signals both respect and reverence. Yet the true measure of his legacy lies not in plaques or parades, but in the questions he left us with. Was he a hero chosen by destiny, or a pawn moved by larger forces? Perhaps he was both. What cannot be denied is the courage it took for one man to carry the burden of a nation's conscience on his back. Jackie Robinson did not heal America's divisions, but he exposed them, and in doing so, he pushed the country one step closer to its ideals. His life remains a challenge, to live with dignity, courage, and truth, no matter the cost.